Hey, this is Cody, and welcome to episode 7 of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition series. Today we are going to be working on some side missions. I decided that we would kind of halt our little playthrough today of going through each mission of the campaign for the moment, just because I've been slowly working up to completing the game, but I haven't really focused on any of the side missions as of yet, for the most part. I did look through some of the side missions, and I kind of did some reviewing of them, and I think there are some good ones that we can do today. Some of them do have some side missions that are like collectible finding, and that's all well and good, but I'm probably not going to do that in this episode. If we find them along the way, I certainly will keep doing that, but I probably won't finish those because it takes a longer time to do that, and I usually just look up doing those anyway, to be completely honest. But in this video, I think what we'll do is we'll just try to complete as many side missions as we can, and I'll probably continue to do maybe another episode of that because there's probably going to be too many just to do in this one episode. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. Now, I'm going to come back to continuing this mission, of course. Currently, we are on Pharos. We were trying to go through and kind of look at the Exogeny headquarters here. But again, we're going to just try and do some side missions here. And yeah, let's just go ahead and kind of see what we've got. So I think for now, what we'll start with is, I was thinking about, I guess, just going from the bottom up. Preferably, I think I want to do the Citadel stuff last, because I think they're kind of smaller missions there. But in this case, there was one here, so like this one, the missing survey team, we didn't really do that. So I think this would be an easy one to start with. So this one is the Antaeus. This one's in the Antaeus system in the Hades Gamma cluster. So we just need to look for the missing survey team. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that one. So we'll go ahead and go back to the ship. And first, I guess we'll have to double check where the ship is here. Let's see. I think, yeah, here it is. So we'll mark that on our map, and then we'll go back to the ship here. Let's see if we can make it back over there.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress. Decontamination in progress.
I know a lot of you guys, too, in the comments have said that I should take advantage of talking to the crew members.
The commanding officer is aboard. XO Presley stands relieved.
I think I might take advantage of that a little bit here as well. Maybe I can see if there's anybody that has any dialogue here currently.
Why am I glad to be off of Novaria? I don't know which was worse, the cold or the corporations. One will freeze your balls off, the other will sell them out from under you. With all due respect, Commander.
I have to go.
So he did have a little comment about Novaria, which that was kind of funny. Let's talk to our guys over here, if we can, maybe? Maybe? No. Can talk to him, though. Oh. Okay, collected that. Navigator.
Yes, Commander. Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can't talk to you. Who else can we talk to here? I'll go down there in a second. I'm just gonna see who else we can talk to. Let's see, Caden.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
Alenko, when it's just you and me, you can consider it off the record.
That's a generous attitude. Okay. I think there's something wrong with all this. This Saren is looking for a lost mass relay to who knows where, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
I heard all about that. How companies would arrange accidents to expose people to element 0.
There was never any proof of that. It's not what happened in my case, anyway. My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
This just sounded a whole lot like, almost like the Halo. I mean, right? It reminds me a lot of Halo's Origins, where they scoop kids up as, you know, scoop young kids up and they train them as Spartans almost to be elite soldiers or whatever. I mean, it's kind of giving me similar vibes as that.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields.
He said the name of the game in the game.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
Then you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich, but she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. I think you'd have liked her.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
Jump Zero is a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. But that's my own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner. Besides, I've got my past squared away.
All right. Interesting backstory and stuff. Okay. else do we have that we can talk to? Dr. Chakwas.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How well do you know the lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record. Over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth, or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Alright, leveled up. Sweet. Oh wow, there's even more back here. Alright, let's talk to Liara.
If you are here to talk about Benezia's death, you need not bother. She brought it upon herself.
Don't pretend it doesn't bother you. She was your mother.
She was. But she was not. I prefer to remember Benezia as she used to be, before she was corrupted by Sovereign's power.
The best of your mother lives on in you. Her determination, her intelligence, her strength.
That is kind of you to say. I appreciate your concern, but I am fine. Benezia chose her path, just as I have chosen mine. I am with you until the end, Shepard.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Sounds dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers, but I was always careful. Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau, I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
You don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the past. It sounds
That
so
makes
foolish
sense.
when I say it out loud. It sounds like I became an archaeologist simply to spite Benezia.
You must enjoy something about it.
I love my work. Seeking out history's lost secrets has a special appeal for me. You were actually touched by working Prothean technology. That is why I find you so fascinating, Commander.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No! I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
Benezia was swept up in events beyond her control and lost herself. She fell under the spell of indoctrination and became part of the very thing she wanted to stop. But I will remember and honor how she lived, not how she died. My mother was strong, kind, and beautiful, and now she is gone.
Are you going to be okay?
You are kind to ask, Shepard. I do miss her, and I grieve for what happened to her. But I will not let my grief interfere with what we are trying to accomplish.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
Interesting.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
It'd be funny if she's just like, we bite their head off. Like a praying mantis or something. That'd be insane.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
Think about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own species, we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our homeworld. Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
You Asari lived for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Alright, well, that gave us a lot of information about Liara, and I'm glad that we were able to find her and talk to her, because definitely wouldn't have known all that information unless we did, so really good information in the comments there, guys. Keep it up. Really appreciate that. Okay, let's see who else we can talk to here. Alright, Garrus. Haven't seen you in a while.
Commander, nice work out there. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander.
Yeah, you tell him, Shepard. He sounded kind of sus there for a second.
Commander, you have a minute to talk.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
Oh, great.
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies. We, humanity, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
How do you get from relying on ourselves to mistreating our allies?
I don't mean we should mistreat them, Commander. I just think we should be prepared to go it without them. As noble as the Council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
You've got a pessimistic view of the universe, Williams.
A pessimist is what an optimist calls a realist. Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
This is an Alliance warship, not the Parliament floor. If you're Earth first, vote for the Terra Firma Party.
Terra Firma is a pack of jackals. The founders had ideals. These days they just play off xenophobia and bigotry. I hope my reasons are more rational. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
No, sir. Mainly I've been groundside, part of the surface garrison forces. I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary. You should be serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
I'm interested to
Yes,
hear
sir.
if
Main
there's
and
a
downside.
reason
Part
why
of the
she
service
hasn't been
garrison
serving with
forces.
aliens.
I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
Guess you make a habit of second-guessing your superiors.
No, sir.
I never knew my family. Grew up an orphan on Earth. Anybody in your family I'd have heard of?
Couldn't say, Commander. So why are you out here? Just trying to get away from Earth?
Earth's seen better days. Lots of pollution, too many people. People are trying to fix it, but...
But right now, it's not the best place to be. I guess without a family, you had no reason to stay.
Oh, just shut up.
All right. I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're going to have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
Would you kiss anyone I ordered
Oh
you to?
god, I didn't mean him to do
Sir.
that.
If
Jesus.
you ordered me to kiss a superior officer, that would be a violation of the regs concerning fraternization. That would make it an illegal order. I'd be required to decline and relieve you of command. Sir.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
You mean the Rachni, right? They were dangerous, Commander. They proved that 2,000 years ago. I think it was a mistake to let them go. But that wasn't my call to make. It was yours. You know, you really should talk to Tisoni about her mom. She has to be hurting. Just
I already did.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, sir.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogan lived for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
They tried the same with us, but we fought them off.
It's not the same.
Seems similar enough to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Sorry, Rex. I wasn't trying to get you upset.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one, and no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
So long, Rex.
I didn't mean to say goodbye. I still want to keep talking. Keep talking.
Shepard,
Let's see if we can
Are
get
your
him.
people really dying?
we're sure not getting any... We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
I guess that is pretty much all he has to say.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Man, this ship is huge.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and
God,
sell a certain brand of product.
This gets
I
really
already
in
have
depth
several
here, my
basic
God.
ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
Not right now, thanks.
No problem.
Let's see.
Checking back.
Okay. Let's see about any other rooms. Who else can we talk to? Oh, there's more people. Engineer
Hey, Commander,
Adams.
you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You've got an eye for talent, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself, with no emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up the FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
That's convenient.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on. Probably the fastest vessel ever designed. She's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Carry on, Adams.
All right.
Aye, Commander.
Interesting. That's a cool look at the engine there.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla, grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point.
Jeez.
Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Interesting.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in the group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness.
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
What did you do?
It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
Yeah.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the veil. Now we drift through space, exile, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
I want to know more about the Pilgrim.
Very interesting.
When we reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Looks like I've got everything that I need, I guess.
I should go.
See you later.
Wow. So, I mean, we knew that her people created the Geth, but what we didn't know is the whole backstory of that, I guess, unless, you know, we looked it up. So, the fact that her people created the Geth and, I mean, pretty much used them as slaves. Let's just put that out there. And kept upgrading them until eventually they became sentient, and they were like, what am I doing? What is this? What, you know, what is my purpose? And they were like, uh-oh, we got to kill all these guys. And they did. And then, of course, they rose up. And, of course, they fought back. And that's what I was trying to have Shepard say to her. Is like, of course they fought back. And she's like, well, I think we're in the right because we were trying to prevent everyone from dying because they were going to fight back. Well, yeah, of course they were going to fight back. They were defending themselves. Now, currently, at this time, because it's been centuries since that first happened, are they still in that, like, revenge mode of, like, we hate everybody because we were created as slaves? I don't know. You know, it's hard to say whether or not Saren is using them and they're actually being, like, misled, or if they actually are a bad race or not. Obviously, we'll probably find out. But it's just really interesting backstory. So, yeah, we'll have to come back to that for sure. I mean, we'll find out more as we continue. But let's. I think that's all the characters that we can find here at the moment. I don't know if there's any other spots on the ship that we can go to, but I guess we'll see if we can find. Yeah, we'll go up to the map upstairs, or up in the main engine, or the main room there, and we will start our side missions finally. Just curious to see what all is in here, but I guess we could go there too, but let's travel there. Survey these. Survey this. Here we go. Trebin. Trebin is a modest terrestrial world with an atmosphere composed of nitrogen and argon. Its surface is mainly composed of nickel and deposits of silver. Trebin's environment is relatively mild, but the scarcity of water or similar enabling substances has prevented the development of any biosphere. Exogeny Corp recently performed a test impact of a single water ice comet into the surface, the first step of a long-term plan to thicken the atmosphere and introduce water to the environment. A survey team is on the surface monitoring the geological and meteorological effects of the test impact. Most of the water released is still in the form of atmospheric vapor, but thick cloud banks have formed. There is every indication that this arid world will soon see its first rain. Survey team's progress has been hampered by frequent mechanical or computer failures in their GPS satellites. Alright, let's check it out. Okay. I think that we need to go with Tali and Rex. Accept. All right. The Mako again. Sweet. Okay. Sweet. Okay. Now let's take a gander at what we got here. Rare element surveyed. You have successfully surveyed a small deposit of plutonium. Alright, okay. Interesting. Alright. I have no idea where I'm going. Is there a map here? Okay. But where am I? Is there... Oh, I guess there I am, right there. Oh, there's debris. There's an anomaly. There's a research base. And then there's another anomaly. Let's go over to the debris. Let's see where the debris is at. Alright. Uh-oh. That's not good. There's some enemies over there. Ready to fire here. Let's see. Looks like a... Oh! Who are these guys? Okay. Oh man. Nice. Okay. Yep. Scavengers, huh? Okay, let's check it out. Okay. Let's take a look. Alright. Well, we got the debris. Oop, something...
Agreed. I'll follow.
Okay. Let's go over there since that's closer. What could be over here? Oh, more probes. Okay. Interesting.
I'm on my way.
Okay. This device is transmitting tight beam signals into geosynchronous orbit. This disrupts the survey team's GPS satellites, causing them to crash nearby. Disable that, yeah. What in the heck? That must have caused all these probes to crash here too then. Yikes. Alright, so we're getting more and more to the bottom of what's going on here. Although it's funny that all the probes conveniently crashed next to where the disruptor is. Who put the disruptor here, though? Oops. Okay. Maybe we'll go to the research base and check that out. Oh god. Nice.
It's deserted.
Interesting. Guess we can see that.
According to these data logs, the survey team unearthed some kind of alien technology.
Could be answers at the excavation site.
kind of want to go to the anomaly over the other spot first before I go in there, because, I mean, just to make sure that I don't miss anything over there. I feel like the excavation is going to be the last part, so let me just check the anomaly first, and then we will go back to the excavation site. Looks like I can dig up another thing over here. Rare element surveyed. You've successfully surveyed a large deposit of uranium. Nice. Okay. Oh man. Oh my god. Holy Jesus. Oh good. Oh goody 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 goody. Come on. Are you kidding me? Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Come on. Oh, no. Seriously? Oh, okay. That is a... Okay. Wow. Alright, well, now I gotta beat that thing. Let me go back there. Oh, did I start over? Oh, no. Oh, no. See, this is why I need to save. Lucky for you guys, I am editing this after the fact, so I will see you in a second. Okay, we are back, and we're gonna try and fight this worm thing again, this sandworm or whatever. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Come on. Shouldn't have repaired. God, this thing can hit me from 10 miles away. I swear to God. And it's just gonna literally... Oh my God. on, die already. Finally. Jeez Louise, man. Holy crap. Whew. Alright. My God. That was annoying. Okay. Turian insignia recovered. There are no signs of any survivors. The pod is empty, except for a small tattered flag marked with the Nimines colony insignia. Interesting. Alright. Alrighty. And let's save. There we go. Now we can go back to the research base and excavation site. Convenient that we can breathe in here.
Now it gets fun.
Oh, what the hell? Oh, what? Wait, what? Oh, God. Come on. Jeez. Come on.
Whatever they found, it's long gone now.
Man.
All clear.
I just, like, Tali cannot stay up. Alright, I'm gonna have to...
Patching you up.
Okay, I'm gonna have to, get this... I'm gonna have to upgrade us here. Let me go back to our squad and yeah, we've got some upgrades that we can do here. So I'm gonna upgrade my first aid, increase our squad healing. And I'm gonna go back to Spectre training, increase the amount of health and shields restored by Unity. Nice. That's really good then there. All right, so Rex has 2. We'll do. Let's see, targets a powerful mass effect. Improves recharge time. Nice. Okay. Oops. Oops. so... Basic armor. Explosion radius. Sure, let's do that. Actually, let's do those. There's one here, she can do pistols. Shotguns have been unlocked. Okay, go to equipment. Let's upgrade some of these here. Alright. What the heck could this be? Fusion containment cell. What the heck could that be? Oh god. Oh jeez, they're both behind us there. Alright, that accounts for all of the ExoGeni survey team. They were converted to cybernetic husks by devices similar to those used by the Geth on Eden Prime. How they came to be buried in a frontier world so far from Geth territory is a mystery. Alright, I guess the survey team got turned into husks. That sucks. Jesus.
Clear.
Okay, well... What else is in here? Sludge canister. Shoot. Did not mean to throw that. Alright, well, I guess it's time to head back to the ship. Looks like we did everything that we need to do out here. Alright, and Yeah, as you can see, we are completed and done with the survey team mission there. So I think I'm going to call it for now, guys. That was episode 7. I know this one was a little bit more short and not too much going on in this mission, or in this episode, I should say. You know, and I apologize if some was kind of a boring one. We were kind of talking to a lot of the crew members, but I'm glad that we did, just because I feel like we talked to a lot of them and got to know them a little bit better. And I appreciate you guys commenting on that we were missing out on that, because you get a lot of insight of these guys, and I will continue to try and follow up with them, because like you guys have said, that there's things that you can miss out on as the story progresses as well. Maybe the story will continue to progress as I'm doing these side missions. I think that as these episodes continue, as I'm doing these, that I'm going to continue to do these side missions for a little bit, because there's some that like you see here, I haven't done yet. So stay tuned for these. I'll try to keep doing it more and more now that I have talked to the crew members at this point and gotten that out of the way, that initial talking out of the way. I think there should be less of that, unless you guys like that. I mean, you guys like doing that. I mean, I could certainly keep, you know, having longer conversations with everybody in the game. Obviously, that's half of this game, is kind of going through dialogue and stuff, and I don't necessarily mind it as well. But I want to get to the missions and going through the campaign and going through these side missions too. So I think the next couple episodes might just be some of these side missions, so just as a heads up to you guys too. But in any case, thank you so much for watching, guys. Again, really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. Really appreciate all the support you guys have been commenting, and if you have any suggestions, like I always mention, just feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Thanks.